Hey guys, welcome back to Tower of God New World. In today's video, I wanted to talk about the Tri-Essence facility. Now, this is something I've been asked a lot about. Now, I'm going to do a quote-unquote guide on it, but I don't think there's any one right way to do it. I just want to walk you guys through how I'm doing it myself. I've saved up some crystals on some of these so I can do a bit of a demonstration as well, and show you my process for doing it and explain the basic way it works. Now, the first thing is, how do we acquire these things? Now, there's a few ways you can get them through missions. You can get the chests, which come in here, and I don't have any of them at the moment, that you pop and you get some random of the crystals. And the big one that we did just get is the Guardian's Test. Make sure you don't miss out on this. Every day you unlock access to 600 of them, different colors, and then on the final day on Sunday, definitely don't miss that, because you get 1,000 of each of them to go ahead and pump into them. Now, with this thing, the first thing I'm going to say is, if you're a new account and you haven't unlocked all of them, my number one priority is unlocking all of them before you re-roll, unless there is one exception. There is one exception to this. If it is your main if your main carry, if you're doing Huarian, it would be the intellect one. If you're doing Iwa, it would be the intellect one. If you're doing like a hats or something, it would be the strength one. But for your main carry, if you unlock the slot for accuracy or evasion, and you get like a roll like this, like a really bad accuracy roll, I would consider doing one reroll, because this is only costing 200 because I have one slot locked. If I don't have it locked, it only costs 100. But if you get a really bad roll on accuracy or evasion, because those are two very, very important stats, maybe if you get a D roll like this, maybe reroll it, you might get a C, B, or an A roll, which would increase those vital stats for your carry. That would be the only exception to it. Besides that, I recommend not re-rolling until you've unlocked all of them. Now, there is a second segment of it that we can unlock. Now, this is a very heavily RNG based thing and a very time consuming thing on unlocking it, because if we look at Awakening, Awakening requires you to unlock all essence slots and obtain at least 3. I don't know why it says at least 3, because there's only 3 slots, but at least 3 A rank slots for each slot, A rank stats for each slot. Please check that. You can see that I haven't done any of them, even though on these ones I do have an A rank, which I've then locked. You need to get all 3 of them to A rank on every one of these to awaken into the next one. Awakening requires you to unlock all essence slots and obtain at least 3 A rank stats for each slot, not just for one slot, but each slot. So you need to get everything to an A rank. Now, for that, if we look at rates, A rank is only a 3% chance. So you can see that this is going to get quite excessive. And when we look at a reroll costing 100, but over here, because as soon as you get an A rank, doesn't matter what stat it is, I would lock it, but then it's going to cost you 200, and if you lock 2 stats, it's going to cost you 300 to reroll. So you can see how this gets super expensive when you've only got a 3% chance at getting an A rank. Once you've got 2 locked, you're spending 300 per reroll, and you've only got a 3% chance to get that A rank on the last one that you need to get. So it's going to get super expensive, super quick, and it's going to take an absolute ton of time to get this. But my recommendations along the way is, first of all, go through them all, reroll them. Now, I haven't really done it too well on the strength, so I'm going to do it here. So what I did is, these ones I lucked out, and I just got super lucky on strength. These were like in my first rolls, I got these ones, which it was crazy because it took me like 15 rolls at least in dexterity to get it. So my strength has been super lucky. But what we do here is, and because keep in mind dexterity, I started this account when we had extra dexterity ones from the other event, and I picked up a bunch of them. At the moment, you can pick up extra intellect ones, I believe it is, from the event if you want to as well, which I'll talk about towards the end. But here what I do is I like to go through and get some decent stats, because don't forget, we're not just trying to unlock the next section, we're also trying to get stats that are useful. So for me, this one I would reroll because that's bad stats. This does have good stats in accuracy and evasion, but it's so low that I don't like it. So we're going to roll that again. Okay, we went ahead and rolled an A. That is super lucky. We do luckily have an accuracy as well, but I'm just going to lock that one. I'm going to go into the next one. So this one we do have accuracy at 9, but it's pretty average, so I'm going to change stats. See if we can get some better stats here. Now, unfortunately, we're just getting core stats. Swiftness, I do like, and accuracy, I do like. Now, it's only a D accuracy, but we do have a B swiftness, so I would let that sit for a minute. This one here, you can see we do have, honestly, decent swiftness, decent accuracy. Let's just see what else we've got. This one, 11 accuracy, not too bad. This one, okay, this one's got no stats that I really want, so I'm going to re-roll this one until I get some decent stats. Now, we've got a B attack and HP, but not too vital, those stats, not too vital again. I'm just going to keep re-rolling this until I see something that I like. So there we go. We do have some accuracy, but once again, that is pretty low. So I'm going to keep re-rolling this one. And this is how you can see that you really just burn these things super quick. Now, lifesteal is something that is another stat that I would be interested in, but the main ones I'm looking for are going to be that evasion and accuracy because they are core stats. Now, unfortunately, I have run out. I've re-rolled that however many times I just did, and we got nothing of use. But what I would do is essentially is re-roll this one until I at least get some like B ranked evasion, accuracy, lifesteal, depending on what stats I'm really looking for. And then I would go through and rinse and repeat and then try and find other ones I like. Now, personally, I'm going to do that. And then once I get some stats I like, once they're all good, then I choose the worst one. I'm never going to lock a B stat because we need to get those A's, but I don't want to be re-rolling away, let's go to this one, for instance. I don't want to be re-rolling away a nice 14 evasion when I could be re-rolling away something like this and trying to get a higher max roll evasion on this one. Also, the other thing is the first ones I like to focus on are going to be these bottom two for my carry units because I want to get that high evasion and accuracy rolls because they're going to benefit me a lot more. So this is one I just kept re-rolling this one now. But like I said, this one, we've got 14 evasion. That's not too bad. I'm happy to let that sit while I work on other ones. This one's got 14 evasion. I'm happy to let that sit. This one's got 14 evasion. I'm happy to let that sit while I work on something else. So over here, I'm working on this one at the moment, trying to get some better rolls. At least we got a B roll on the core stat. I will still re-roll this away because, I'm getting evasion every time guaranteed on this one. So I'm happy to do that. And then eventually I will just have to re-roll away these evasion stats. But just keep in mind, don't re-roll away the good B stats if you got another slot that you can re-roll to try and get something a bit more optimal. It's hard to explain the process, but basically you do need to get A's in all of them, and that is the priority, and I'll never lock a B slot. But having those Bs be optimal stats while you reroll something else is also a really good thing. Now, you'll also see that this one has a rainbow. That's because it got a maxed out evasion stat. Now, you get the rainbow when the stat is completely maxed out. You only get the gold border if it's just an A, but not a completely maxed A, if that makes sense. So this one was honestly the dream, so I've locked that. And honestly, probably next I'll re-roll this one as well. With that locked, try and get some extra stats. But so for this one, because we've already got the evasion, maybe that's not the optimal way to do it. So maybe I'll go ahead and roll this one next, even though it costs me 200. After obviously I get a high roll on the evasion and some different substats here, then I'll go ahead and roll this one and try and get some good substats on this one. Yes, it is costing me 200, but I kind of want to get some evasion, accuracy, lifesteal sort of things in these ones, maybe some swiftness to really help me out there. So that is the process that I go through. Like I said, there is no one way, but I just like to always have some decent stats on my slots that I like and then re-roll something else. Once I get that, I choose the next worst slot and then I re-roll that. Just keep in mind, you do need to eventually get A's in every slot, and this is going to take a hell of a long time. So let's jump in here over here into the intellect and we'll take a look. Now, this one's pretty average. It's only got 7 evasion, but it is evasion. So now I'm looking, this one's 8 evasion. This one's got 15 evasion, which ain't bad. And this one's got 8 evasion. So at the moment, the worst one here that I have available to me is that one. This one's got defense, which kind of sucks. This one's only got the 4 evasion. I'm just going to leave this one. Unfortunately, it got the magic resistance, which I don't really want too bad. But you got to take the A's when they are there. That one's got some lifesteal. That one's got a decent evasion roll, so I'm pretty happy with that. So we can lock this one in. And it's got the swiftness, so that one's going to stay for a while. So I think this is probably my worst one that I can go ahead and change stats on. Okay, we've got some accuracy. And basically, you see, this isn't too bad because we have accuracy and evasion now on that one. So because we've got accuracy and evasion, I'm going to go ahead and roll this one that we've only got evasion on. And once again, you guys may not prioritize accuracy and evasion as much as me. That's just what I still find to be the most valuable thing for my account at the moment. So that one, we rolled a 12 accuracy. This one's only got an 8 evasion. So I'm going to go ahead and re-roll this. And like I say, I just chop and change between them based on what stats I want to keep on them. That was a really bad roll on the numbers there. This one, once again, now this one's got a 12 accuracy. It's got a decent attack roll. So now, is there anything else that I'd rather re-roll away than it? Wait, what was this one? 12 accuracy. So I just weigh up those stats. 12. This has got 15 stats. This has got 12 stats. This has got 15. So now I'm going to re-roll away whichever one of these has the worst other stats. That's got an A on the attack. This has only got a C. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to re-roll this one until we get hopefully something good. And look at that. I have never had a double A. So there we go. We got a double A in this one, which is like a god roll that I've never had that before. So now I'm happy to leave that one. I will come back to this one later on. Actually, you know, and then I'll just probably go back to re-rolling on which one's the next worst stat weight. So this will be the next one that I go ahead and re-roll. Hopefully that process makes some sense to you guys. It's just all about identifying what stats are the most important for you on those slots and just aiming for them and then spreading it out based on what has the least stat weight at the time. I know it's a bit complicated and it's hard to explain, but that is the basic gist of the way I go about the Tri-Essence facility. But also, if you want to, depending on how much refreshing you guys do in the event, in the story event. Now, personally, I do... Oh, dude, how did I let this cap? I went to the Penguins yesterday and I let it cap. I'm an idiot. Ugh. The worst mistake of the world. How did I do that? Anyway, wait, do I have refreshes for today? No, I don't. I've done my refreshes. Okay, so I let that cap. I'm an idiot, but don't let it cap. But I do the 40s and 80 refreshes every day, and basically you can buy these from here as well with these, but just keep in mind you've got a bunch of other resources like your upgrades for the exclusive equipments. Here I'm not too stressed on this middle section after I get the gold as much, and then over here obviously we can get some of these extra blue ones to exchange for that, but you can also get gifts to unlock the rapport for characters as well. But let's go ahead here and just like buy out a few more. 21. Dude, how much are we spending on these? You know what? Let's just do it for the sake of the video. There we go. Okay, so we picked up a bunch of them. Dude, all right, let's go ahead and, not Shinsu Link. Let's go to the Tri-Essence. Let's see if we can get some more god rolls on this one. So, like I said, I believe this was the next one that I was going to re-roll. So let's go ahead and change this one, see if we can get some of those A stats or just some really good B stats that we're looking at. Nothing. Okay, we got an A rank. Now I'm going to lock that, but because these two extra substats, even though it cost me 200, they're so poor, I'm just going to lock that A and spend the 200 to reroll again until we get something decent. Unfortunately, we're getting horrible stats. Evasion and swiftness, both at C, but that's okay. So they're decent stats to lock in there. This one I'm tempted to, but because this one's always going to be defense, I'm not too stressed on that at the moment. That one's got 15 on the substats. That's got 15 evasion. That's got the life steal as well. These are already upgraded. I might jump over to this one and re-roll this one because this one has the 15 evasion, which I kind of like the evasion a little bit more on my Huarian at the moment. I just want that extra little bit of survival. So let's go ahead and re-roll this one. Now we go ahead and we get the 13 evasion. Not as good as the 15 on the other slot. So I'm just going to keep re-rolling this one at the moment. Accuracy and defense. We got the evasion up to there. Dude, we keep rolling that evasion and I'm really close to losing it. So this is a really poor lifesteal roll. So this is where I might come over to this one because we've got two not so ideal stats. It does cost me 200. I only get 2 rolls. We're going to go ahead and roll these 2 away. We did get an evasion in that one, which is only 10, but it's decent. This one's got the 2 swiftness, which I don't want to roll away. This one, it does have evasion as well. Let's take a look. This one's pretty poor, but let's just go ahead and re-roll this one. Hopefully we get a decent substat here and just a better defense roll is what I'm looking for. We got a better substat in the lifesteal, which I'm cool with. So honestly, actually, lifesteal's not so much better on this one. I've been looking more for lifesteal and dexterity with my Kaseya, but hopefully that makes some sense. That is what I'm doing. That is my progression through that. Just always, my recommendation is always lock an A tier when you get it. Doesn't matter what stat it is, because the most important thing is awakening and getting the next tree of it to be able to get a ton more stats. So even if you get a bad stat, kind of like I did on, which one was it here? Was it this one? Like I got a flat defense here, which isn't the greatest stat, but I'm going to lock it anyway because that is just guaranteed A rank and it gets me close to awakening this and getting into the next section. So hopefully that made some sense. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.